What's up? It's Jamar here, Vegas Sense. I got a new video here. This one is going to be a full review video of a genre parfums fragrance, and that one is going to go by the name of Aquatica. All right, so Aquatica is going to be genre parfums take on Creed's Arofa, and pretty much Creed Arofa, when you smell this, it does smell very similar to Creed's Millesime Imperial. Now, the main differences that I get between this and Millesime Imperial is Millesime Imperial seems to be a bit more fruitier and sweeter. Now, again, that's based on the interpretations of Millesime Imperial that I've smelled. So I mean, I've smelled interpretations from Alexandria fragrances. I've smelled Central Obsessions version, which I think is probably up there as being one of the best. And then also, I have smelled this fragrance here, the Ed Hardy Love and Luck, which gets compared to Millesime Imperial a lot. Now, in my honest opinion, I would say that this Ed Hardy Love and Luck is actually closer in smell to what this smells like. And you know, I've mentioned this in other videos before, where I've mentioned that, you know, this particular scent right here, the Ed Hardy Love and Luck, this is a lot more muskier. I guess you could say a lot more muskier, and it's not really as sweet. Now, this definitely smells like a cheap fragrance, you know, especially when you first spray it on. You know, you get like this you really get like a really sort of rough alcohol smell, you know, when you first spray it on. Now, once it dries down, it does become pretty smooth. But just on the initial spray, you can smell that this is not the highest of qualities when it comes to fragrances. Now, this one is the complete opposite. When you spray this one, it's very smooth. It smells extremely natural. And, you know, like I mentioned in the first impressions video of the other genre parfums, you know, fragrances that I got, I noticed that the quality on all of these fragrances seems to be like extremely high. I mean, I would have to say high enough to the point where they really smell like, you know, they could just be their own fragrances, you know, like that's how high quality they smell. So just going back to this one, when you first spray this on, you get like this really salty, aquatic type of smell. And again, it goes back to smelling pretty much almost like Millesime Imperial. Like, again, the only difference that I can really say that I get from this and, you know, any other Millesime Imperial interpretation or clone that I've smelled is pretty much this particular fragrance is just saltier, muskier, and it's less sweet. Now, as far as the performance on this goes, the performance on this is actually pretty good. I haven't worn this recently. I've been trying to, I guess, hold on to these samples as long as possible because I haven't bought any bottles yet. I recently put my order in for a bottle of one of his fragrances, but I haven't received it yet. So I'm trying to hold on to these as long as possible. But going back to the way these perform, I wore this to work one day and was able to get through the entire work day, and, you know, even did some stuff, you know, after work, and could still smell it on me pretty good. So this wasn't something that by the time, you know, the end of my shift came, it became a skin scent or anything like that. It was still there. You know, which for a lighter scent like this, you know, is always great. You know, because, you know, usually scents like this, you know, at the most you can probably expect maybe 5 hours or so, and then after that, you know, you have to reapply them. This one is an all-day scent for sure. You know, you throw this on and you're good for the rest of the day. Now, because this isn't as sweet and because it's a little bit more muskier and aquatic, I think the versatility on this one is pretty high. I would say this is definitely a good scent that you could wear to work, you know, especially during the summer. You know, I think that you could wear this in casual occasions. You know, pretty much, I think you could wear this anytime during the day in warmer weather. So this is not going to be a scent that I would say you would want to reach for in like the fall or the winter, but definitely for spring and summer during the day, this is a go-to fragrance for sure. All right, so again, the performance, I got at least about 10 hours out of this when I wore it. It did project pretty good for probably about the first hour and a half to 2 hours or so. But then after that, you know, it's not like it turned into a skin scent after that. It still performed very well. Again, the quality of the smell of this stuff is top notch. This stuff smells extremely natural, basically like it was, you know, blended by Creed, you know, I guess you could say. So I'm really, really happy with the performance and the quality of this particular fragrance. Also, the price of this stuff is very good. Devon sells this particular scent in only a 30 ml right now, but the 30 ml is only $25 plus $4 for shipping. So you're paying less than $1 per ml to, you know, be able to get to this particular fragrance, which I think is always great. All right. So just a rating here, if I'm going to give this particular fragrance a rating from 1 to 10, I would say that I would have to give this particular fragrance a solid 9 out of 10. You know, I think that this fragrance is very, very much slept on, and I think it gets overshadowed a lot by, you know, scents that, you know, that are either Millesime Imperial or clones of Millesime Imperial. But I think that this particular fragrance is probably, it could probably fit more people. Some people might think Millesime Imperial might be a little bit too sweet or maybe a little bit too feminine. Anybody that might feel that way, I would highly suggest that you check this out. Aquatica by John with Parfums. All right, so that's Jamar here, Vegas Scents. I'll see y'all in the next video.